Hi, and welcome to the recording of today's workshop for HighLevel Foundations with MarketerM8. The call lasts about an hour, and we're just covering the very foundational level of all the features in HighLevel and how to find your way around the system. So look forward to seeing you in the call. Okay, so as I mentioned before, then this is the standard default HighLevel layout in colours. You start with you've got your navigation on the left hand side. There's two parts to the navigation. This is sort of the main part. If you scroll to the bottom, then if I move that out of the way, you've got settings at the bottom, and that brings you to a second panel of navigation. That's the main areas to think about. So you go back and forth between the two in settings, back and forth. Okay, that's quite straightforward. And then we'll very quickly go through what all the tabs mean, the important ones. Okay, so the first one you'll see is the Launchpad. So when you first start with a sub account, you should get the Launchpad here, which is basically a way to easily start connecting up all the integrations you see here, like your Google business page, your Facebook pages. So that's the easy way to get started. HighLevel in the process of updating this to make it more intuitive and easier. So that should be improving in the next short while. Okay. And once you sort of set up all the integrations, you never really look at this again. You got the dashboard here. So the dashboard is where you'd have your key numbers on there. Okay. See some of ours here. And you can have multiple dashboards as well. You can have as many as you want on here. So you might see a different dashboard to your team members. It just depends what they need to see, really. And you should be able to edit the dashboard in the top right corner. Sometimes that has to be enabled by the agency for you, but that's the dashboard. And you can drag and drop all these widgets to create the exact personal view that you need. Yep. While we're here, on a very similar sort of note, you see where you can drag these widgets across here. I'll just show you quickly on mine. Yeah, you just pull them in like that. It's going to do that for me. Yeah, so you can pull in and you can add new widgets, and you can build a whole page here like that. Save that there, yeah. So yeah, I've got contacts count now, but also on a very similar note, you can go to reporting here if you want. Yeah, leave that, and you can build out like reports here. And when you build that report, it's the same sort of widgets, but then you can have it say that it emails you a report every Monday at 12 o'clock, or your clients, it sends them a report on a PDF report every week or every month or whatever you want to do. So it's a way of sending reports out from the system automatically using the reporting feature here. They look very similar to the dashboards, except the PDFs. That's the dashboards. And you can have your tasks on here. You should see some of my tasks here. Any tasks, any manual actions you've got to do, they can all appear there. Is that okay, guys? Any questions there? Straightforward. Next, we move on to conversations. So some people like this. This is like a nothing to show here. Oh, there we go. This is like a live feed of all the conversations going in. So some people like to see, emails coming in, WhatsApp messages in and out, text messages, all that. So that gives you a live feed of what's happening. Again, you can see at the individual contact level in contact records. We'll see later. You can see their conversations. Calendars here. Calendars is like Calendly, yeah. Calendly, but better. As you see here, so this is integrated with my Google Calendar. Yeah, could be your Outlook calendar or your iCal. Yeah. So it's looking at my Google Calendar. Anything grayed out has been scheduled on my Google Calendar. Anything in blue and green here, these are appointments been booked in the system. So I could not live without this tool. By the way, it saves so much time doing phone calls and meetings. It's well worth getting your head around that. So the calendar settings are in here, like so. You see, we can even do services now and rentals. So if you're renting out plant or equipment, you can actually run a rentals business in here now. Yeah. Most people are using meetings just like Calendly. And what this tool will do, it will basically book the meetings or the appointments and drop them into your calendar. Yeah. And then through the automation later on, we send out all the reminders, trigger opportunities, all that sort of thing. So the calendar just actually does the calendar bookings. About the calendars. And we have workshops to cover each of these aspects as well. So I'm going very top line today just to show you where the calendars are. Contacts here is like this is like your database. So here you'll see all your contacts in the system. You find yourself in there, yep. And using the filters, yeah, you can slice and dice the data and segment it all you like. Very powerful. Yep. You slice and dice it. Again, we've got a whole workshop on this. But just to show you a quick contact record in here, I'm going to find one for me. So we'll now go and look at a contact record itself. Yeah. So there's three components to three areas of the page to look at here. Yeah. The first column here, obviously we're storing fields of data and custom fields. So obviously name and email is standard. But then you can also have as many custom fields as you want. Yeah, and you can organize them by folders. Yeah. So really powerful. You can store as much data as you want on a contact record. You can upload PDFs or images as well. That's part of the functionality. We can store those in here. Also, we can have tags. Go back. Where be tags gone? One sec. What have I lost? Have they rearranged the page, Atticus? I've lost tags.
I'll be at the bottom of that with the actions and the rest of it. Yeah.
Good point. Yeah, so I've got so many. See, I've got so many fields here. I couldn't even see them there. So at the bottom here, you can have tags for recording information. We can see what automation this contact has been through or active in, which can be useful for troubleshooting. So currently I'm live in this campaign, or this workflow rather. These are all historical ones. I can see any opportunities on the contact record down there. Yeah, I'm looking at a different view here, aren't I? It's just, because they've got a new view, but I seem to be for some reason today I'm on the old version of the desktop here. You can see any opportunities that are assigned to this contact, any courses as well. If you've given that granted them access to any courses. So you'll see later on in memberships we can do courses just like Kajabi, and we can run communities as well, which is like your own private Facebook groups. Yeah. DND is do not disturb. So if someone opts out of any email marketing or text email marketing that would opt them out of email marketing and text messaging there. And you can see here, as soon as I do that, it's updating this is the conversation view at the contact record. So you can see all the emails back and forth because we synchronize that with your email account so that any emails you send from your Outlook or your Gmail account will synchronize here as well. I'll show you that in a minute. Yeah. And here's a little panel here where you can, from the system, you can send that person an email. Yeah. If you've got a phone number for them, you could text them from here. You can phone them from here if you've got a phone number. This contact doesn't have a phone number, so there's no phone option here. That'll be there. Here we've got the activity, and you can see the forms being filled in, the pages visited. You see the activity. As I say, for some reason today it's brought up. This is the old view. We've now got a new view. I'm not sure why it's done this today. We've got the activity. We can store tasks on here. Any tasks associated? Not on there. I can add a task. Just sort of standard CRM stuff. Add a task there. I can add notes here as well. Add a note. Yeah. You see here, here's an example of a Zoom call here. I mentioned at the start of the call where all my Zoom calls now have been automatically pushed into the notes here. I've got all the notes here, the action points, links to the video recordings from Zoom. Example there. Again, any appointments I've got with this person, I can see the booked appointments. I can add new appointments here. So I'm often doing this with clients. At the end of one call, we're looking to schedule the next call to keep the momentum going. So I'll be scheduling calls here. Documents here. We can upload documents. Yeah. Even electronic document signing we can do in the system. Any signed contracts would appear here. We do e-commerce as well, so we can do e-commerce via using Shopify, WooCommerce, but we can build our own in stores in HighLevel, even our own order forms and take payments if we want to. Here with associations, we can create what we call custom objects. Okay, so a contact record in data terms is an object, an opportunity record is an object. Well, in HighLevel, we can also create custom objects that are unique to our business. So you'll see here, I've got some set up here. And you see down this side here, you see these pets, practices, and vets. So these are custom objects. So this was for a demonstration I was doing to a chain of veterinary practices. So for a veterinary practice, the paying customer would be the contact record with a name, phone number, and email. That customer might have any number of pets. So in the pets field here, we'll be storing the pet's details. Yeah, the breed, the species, date of birth, all those sorts of things. Obviously, those pets are treated by different vets. So again, a veterinary surgery might have any number of vets working for them. So we can start to create relationships between the data. Yeah. And just more sophisticated than just having a contact record. Does that make sense, or have I confused anyone? Is everyone okay?
So, what I'm thinking of is with this new client, they've got certain chimney sweeps that work in different areas because they cover a big region. So you could make an association between the customer and the chimney sweep that does their.
That's exactly it. Yes, yeah, exactly. Yeah, because a chimney sweep might be associated to different contacts on the system.
Yeah,
yeah. So I've been doing some work recently on this, and for a client, we're looking at using the opportunity, the custom objects, and it's quite a new feature still. And it's not fully. I don't think it's fully ready yet. So you can't have dates triggering at the moment. Yeah. So, if you've got a regular monthly chimney sweep, for instance, like that, it's very difficult to automate off of dates at the moment. And even when I was looking at sort of sending emails through the automations, it gets more complicated. And it wasn't quite working as I'd like yet. So I wouldn't sell it in yet, Steve, that service. Yeah, it's going down the right track, but it's not fully formed, I believe. Yeah. Okay, so that's the different types of custom objects, which just gives you a level of sophistication when it's fully formed. Going back to contacts quickly. So that's the basics of the contact records. That makes sense for everybody because it's sort of the fundamental record we have in here. Okay, then we come to opportunities. So if you've ever used anything like Pipedrive, yeah, this is just like Pipedrive. Yeah, you see here, you can have as many pipelines as you want selling different services, different products. Yeah. We've got an example here of using it as a technical support feature or a ticketing system. Okay, so normally, there's nothing in there to show at the moment. Normally, a sales pipeline would look something like this. You've got new inquiries coming in. and you're dragging and dropping the opportunity as it goes, as somebody progresses through your sales process. So this is sort of this is like for B2B sales typically. It's not really for e-commerce, it's B2B, where you talk to people. And so, for instance, here in mine, as soon as someone books a discovery call in my calendar, it updates or creates an opportunity in discovery call booked. Yeah, so the immediate go into here, you can see some booked there for today. I've got another stage called discovery call missed. So if someone was to not show up for that opportunity, for that call, that appointment, I would drag them into here, and that would then be a trigger for automation. Yep. So if someone misses a call, doesn't show up, I drag them into this stage here, and it will then trigger an automation where it'll send them emails and texts saying, "Hey, we missed our call. Would you like to rebook?" So it's automating that chasing after people there. And basically, you build out the sales pipeline dependent on your sort of sales process. What are your key milestones? Again, we have a whole workshop on that. Yeah, one that gives you a flavour of how, you don't just have to use this for sales pipelines either. So, for instance, here, you look here on our system here. I've got a link here for the support portal. I'll go into there. So this gives you an example of two things I want to show you here. Yep. So first of all, if you're a MarketerM8 user, we've got this blue button in the bottom corner. Yep. It does move sometimes. Yeah. So that clicks you through, and that gets you through to technical support with our team. Yeah. Mark, obviously, you know, with GeneAI, Nigel's building a team of he's got about 18 people now in tech support. So now for GeneAI, there's a whole tech support department there now. But it's either Atticus or I doing the more advanced support for MarketerM8, and then we've got a whole team 24/7. You can click through to there and get tech support in our agency. But to show you an example of how to use the sales pipeline, so also our clients can reach us directly by filling this form in. Yeah, it's a simple form. You can see here they can upload screenshots or videos. And when that form is submitted, they press submit. What happens in the background, that triggers a workflow, which creates an opportunity in this particular pipeline called, when it opens, called support. Yeah, so when somebody fills that form in, it triggers an automation, a workflow. Again, that's a separate workshop. And it will create here an opportunity here, is ticket received. As soon as that ticket is received, that's a trigger then, and it'll ping me on the mobile phone app. Yeah, so there's a brilliant mobile phone app for HighLevel. Yeah, it'll ping me on the app. It'll email me. It'll text me, so I know a client needs our assistance. Yeah, I would then move it to work in progress. Yeah, if I moved it over to Atticus to deal with it, it would then automatically ping Atticus so he knows about it. We then deal with the issue and move it to completed. And as soon as you move it to completed, within seconds, it sends the customer an email and then it disappears. So from our point of view, this should always be empty because we're dealing with things as and when they come up immediately. Yeah. So that's just more of a creative way of using the sales pipeline to sort of manage anything that's got a logical flow to it. Is that making sense? Yeah, okay. I mentioned before these are custom objects, so you probably won't see them in your setup because these are particular to my setup here. They're just custom objects, a bit more advanced in the data terms. And then we've got the payments here. So if you're doing any e-commerce, you can do that through the payments. You can synchronize. You can link it in with Shopify. You've got a Shopify business and WooCommerce as well. That can all be integrated into here. Or you can do very simple e-commerce within HighLevel itself. That's a whole other topic to look at. But the main thing I want to show you here is the documents and contracts. So documents and contracts, it's just like having your own DocuSign or Panda Docs built into the system. Yeah. So you can send people contracts to sign. just like DocuSign, except we've got the advantage here that when that document is signed, we can trigger automation. Yeah, if they don't sign it, we can send reminders until they do sign it. So it's not a standalone tool; it integrates with all the other tools in the system. Yeah. So you see here, you have these are for instance, here's some contracts I've had signed here. I'll show you one here, and you'll see where they've signed it. So again, just say you're having to have another subscription for something like DocuSign. Here's one here that's been signed. That's legally binding as well. Those contracts on there. Oops, go back. That's it. So that's the main part. It's sort of buried that the document signing is buried in payments, along with all the other. This is all the e-commerce side of things in HighLevel. So anything above the line here, you can do on the mobile phone app. Anything below the line, you need to be on a computer because that involves, there's a lot more settings to play with. So you need the more space on the computer screen. Yeah, AI agents. I mean, AI is becoming more and more. Okay, I don't know where the AI studio has gone today, but anyway, here is where I manage all my VoiceAI. And so I've got VoiceAI answering the phone. Yeah, I've got a few of them running now, answering the phone. So they all live in AI agents here. These are all the agents. These are all the agents. This is where is he? This is one here. I've got answering the phone for us. AI agents there. You got marketing. So here, the main one to show you here is the social media planner. Okay, so you can, using social media planner, you can, Atticus does this, don't you, Atticus? A couple of hours each month, and you've got the social media mapped out for the whole month. You see what Atticus has been up to here. You see all documents on the calendar. That's the social media planner there, yeah. Here's where all your emails live. So if you want to send like a broadcast email, like you might do with MailChimp, you can do that from emails here. Yeah. So an email broadcast in HighLevel is called a campaign. This would be a single one-off email to say 1,000 people or whatever. This is an email campaign. Yeah. And here's where throughout HighLevel, here's where you store all your templates. Yeah. There's all the email templates being folders here. It's always a good idea to put them in folders and group them together rather than having like 500 different email templates and then trying to find the right one. So again, use folders to store your templates. The rest is getting a bit more advanced there, so we won't worry about that for the moment. Automation. This is the real workhorse in HighLevel, the automation, using the workflows. Yeah. So again, we've got a whole workshop dedicated to this one. These are some of my automations. So this is sending out automated sequences of emails when an opportunity moves to a different stage, like when a discovery call is booked, it will trigger automation, sending emails, text, WhatsApp messages. Yeah, there's infinite what you can do in there, but I won't go any more. I won't say any more on that at the moment. But that's where the bulk of our work is done in HighLevel in the automation side of things. Sites here. So here in HighLevel, you can build unlimited websites. Yeah. Unlimited sales funnels. So sales funnels are just like you might have heard of ClickFunnels. Yep. So funnels does away with the need for having to need a $100 ClickFunnels account. It's already built into HighLevel. Yeah. Here's some of my funnels here. This is even creating. I've used a funnel here to build a website. Yeah, so to show you quickly, so you can build websites. Yep, so this is our agency website here, built all in HighLevel, 100% built in HighLevel. And it's really, the more I use it, the more I like it. It's a very easy way of building websites. And you can host all your videos on here, no extra charge. You can have as many pages, as many funnels as you want. So it's all very modular, drag and drop. Yeah, and you can use the AI in here as well, the AI assistant to help you build that. So what this website looks like in real life is this one here. Yeah. So the videos are all hosted in here. Book a discovery call. It brings up. Yeah, you see here, so this is the calendar functionality in HighLevel. Yep, booking calls in there. Yeah, we've run this whole thing through HighLevel. You see that because it's worked. Look, it's updated it correctly.
Checked it. I checked at 12:01.
Yeah, so these are all custom values in the system. So these are dynamically updating themselves. So at 1 minute past 12 today, this changed from today, the 7th of July to the 28th of July. So that's all automatically happening in the background. So there's so much you can do with these websites now. I'll keep Jeremy happy, Atticus. So that's building websites in the system. So I've got some clients that've got one HighLevel account, and they've got multiple clients where they're building websites for them from one HighLevel account. That's a funnel. Or you can build a more traditional style looking website, and that look like this, where you've got a home page, an about us page. So it's just a different way of building websites. You can create online shopping stores, yeah. You can create blogs in here for your HighLevel website. WordPress here. So if you've got a WordPress website, you might want to think about importing into HighLevel. So here's one I made earlier. Yeah. So you can actually host WordPress websites within HighLevel now. There is an additional cost for that hosting, but for me, this is my other website I imported at Christmas time. And it's just the same as when you go into it, it just looks like normal HighLevel, a normal WordPress site, but it's all hosted in HighLevel. You go to WP admin, it just takes you to the regular WordPress login. So if you are hosting WordPress websites for clients, you might want to do that. I'll show you. So this is what regular WordPress looks like, but this is a hosted version of HighLevel. For my website, my other website, which looks like this. So even though it's WordPress, it's still hosted in HighLevel this now. Yeah. For me, it's been a lot faster than my old hosting, so I'm happy I made that move and kept it all within HighLevel. That's WordPress. Client portal, that's all to do with building out online courses like Kajabi and communities and affiliate marketing. So that's the online portal. Forms, surveys, and quizzes. Yep. So web forms for your website. Obviously, we all know what a web form looks like, yeah. But we can also run surveys, which are multi-page forms with conditional logic. So you can qualify leads by asking questions. If they answer yes to question 1, they can jump to question 3 and things like that. Quizzes are a bit like ScoreApp. Have you ever heard of ScoreApp by Daniel Priestley? So it's not as advanced as ScoreApp. But out the box, it works. Maybe you don't have quite all the bells and whistles you get with ScoreApp. Chat widgets here. So again, you can create chat widgets to live on your website here. So it could be a HighLevel website or an external website. You can build chat widgets. Yeah. So I'll give you an example of one here. Yeah. So there's one here where that's actually using VoiceAI. So rather than having a traditional chat where you're writing text, you can actually talk to it there. It'll talk to you and answer questions using the AI. That's quite advanced. QR code, yeah. So for your marketing, you might need to create a QR code for some a leaflet or an insert you're designing. You can build your QR codes in here, so you don't need to rely on anything like QR code monkey, whatever it's called, or one of the other ones where they charge you each month for the service. It's all built into HighLevel here. Design your own QR codes to use there. That's handy. So that's sites. Memberships, as I mentioned before, memberships is all about building courses. So online courses, just like Kajabi, super powerful. Yeah, work with a number of clients now where we're building out online courses, not just for their clients, but staff training as well. Yeah, got one property management company where they built all this health and safety training in for staff using a video course in HighLevel. Communities are like, again, around that course, you can have people join the community so they can chat amongst themselves or ask questions and etc. Just like your own private sort of Facebook group. Yeah, that's all to cover there really. Obviously, here's where you store your media. You can upload your images, videos, PDFs, etc. You can even pull in from Google Drive. And a new update, it's not come quite online yet, still in beta. You can connect it to your Canva account. So if you're designing beautiful logos and images in Canva, rather than downloading them from Canva and uploading to HighLevel, you can now just import them straight into HighLevel from Canva direct. New integration coming. That's well, at the agency level, I can label it, but I'm just waiting it becomes generally available. Media storage, reputation management. This is Google reviews, Facebook reviews. Yeah. So again, for the system here, you can manage your Google reviews. Set up a little team of set up a little team to reply to those Google reviews. So you might have a team of AI agents. You have 10 of them, all with different personality, and replying to Google reviews that have been received. Yeah, you can even now capture. Where is it? It'll integrate with lots of other tools as well. You look here. You want to integrate with the main one's really going to be, what would it be? Well, if you're a travel company, TripAdvisor, obviously. There's about 40 of them, and they're always adding new. In addition to the Google and the Facebook reviews, there's all these other tools. What's that request there now? Widgets. A new feature we've just got is capturing video testimonials. You see, here's one here. So if you look on my website here, you can now put a widget on your website, a HighLevel website, or any a third party. You can put this widget on here where you can display video testimonials. You can point clients here to click here to actually, so you can actually request, capture, and display video testimonials from one place. Yeah, it'll do it all for you there. Video testimonials. You can even integrate. I'll show you in a minute. Integrate with Google My Business profile. So when you do that, you're able to edit and update your Google Business profile from within the system here, which is quite handy. Reputation reporting we covered at the start. The mobile app. Again, the mobile app is super powerful, well worth using. So for Mark, GenieAI have their own mobile app. So they just rebranded it GenieAI, but it's exactly the same app. It just looks different colors and different logo. But most people just use the HighLevel version, yeah, or the grey label version, which is called Lead Connector. So it depends which version you use, but they're all the same at the end of the day, just different colors. But well worth downloading the app, guys, because I'm using it more and more these days. It does so much. You can even scan business cards on there. Yeah, so networking meeting, you scan a business card, and it'll pull out all the details for you. And you can even go on there if you're doing the e-commerce. You can even go on there, look up a contact, yeah, create an invoice, and then tap. If you've got the right phone, tap the phone on their credit card while you're with them and take payment. Yeah, so the mobile app is definitely worth looking at. So you can go to your app store. You can search out either for HighLevel itself or Lead Connector is a grey label version, or like for Mark there, it would be Genie AI. Yeah. So that's it. I've raced through that really quickly because there's so much to cover. Does that make sense, guys? Any questions on that first panel? You okay? Right. Digging a bit deeper, then we'll go to settings and quickly we'll run through here again. Here's where your business profile lives. Yep. So here you'll customize it with your details. Yeah. Few things to watch out for here. Make sure you get your time zone right here. Yeah. If you don't have your time zone right here, you wonder why all the emails you scheduled to go out at 9 o'clock this morning go out 10 o'clock tonight. Yeah. So get your time zone right. Get your language right there. Your currency right. Yeah. And there's a few little settings, subtle, very right at the bottom here. Mostly you don't want to allow duplicate contact records on the system, but you can, if you wish, have duplicate contacts. I've never had to do that, but you can if you want. A couple of various settings here for merging Facebook contacts by name. So if someone messages you through their Facebook, you don't get their name, you get their Facebook name. So the system will try its best to merge them. Trying to merge Bill Smith is going to be difficult. We've got lots of Bill Smiths. Bot detection for stats. There's a few settings there to think about. So that's your main business profile. Then you come to your specific profile here. Okay, so this is important. So important settings here. You come to your profile here. What I'd be looking to do is make sure you've got the two-way email sync set up. Okay, so if a contact lives in HighLevel and you email them from your Outlook or your Gmail, then a copy of that email gets appended to their contact record, so it synchronizes the emails. So that's useful there. Same with calendars. So this is the calendar setting. So you want to use the calendars in the system. You'd have to synchronize your calendar, your Outlook calendar, or your Google calendar, or your iCal. You synchronize them there. Important. In addition, you synchronize video conferencing. So whenever my system is setting up automated appointments, the default communication is via Zoom. Like today, it sets for Zoom call automatically. So you synchronize that through there. And what I like to always do is make sure you've got your signature set up here as well. So anytime we're sending emails from the system, rather than hard coding these details into each email, it's much better to put a short code in there that automatically drops this version of signature in here. Okay, and that means if you've got 300 emails set up on the system, 300 templates, and you decide to change your email address or your phone number, you just come into this one place here and change it here, rather than going and editing 300 different emails. So it saves you a lot of time. So that's your user profile. So all your staff members, again, they're going to have to go through a similar process of on their own computer, clicking and connecting up their email system to synchronize in their calendar. So it's something you have to do on your local computer. Okay, billing again here. Billing is where you'll see the pay-as-you-go services in HighLevel. So sending emails, the additional cost of sending emails, text, anything like that will be in the billing section. Again, I've not got that enabled on this account, so it's not there. But it's very good because you can drill right down to itemized billing. Yeah. So if you sent 10,000 emails, you'll see 10,000 different line entries per cost per email. Yeah. That's billing. We've got staff then here. So here's where your staff members. Here's where you invite your staff. Sorry, so I've got a question. Okay. You all right? Yep. Okay, I'll carry on. Here's where you'd invite your staff to join your system. So click on add user. Yeah. Pop in their name, email address, etc. Yeah. Before you do that, what it'll ask you to do. There we go. Yeah, I'll just show what happens here. When you go to set up a new user, yeah, to invite them, you pop in all their details, name, email, click on next. Okay, and what level of access do you want to give them to your system? Do you want to be an admin or just a user? Again, when they're a user, they've got to have access to all the features. Yeah. So if it's someone that just needs to go in and edit contacts, maybe an admin person or a sales rep, you might not want to give them admin access where they can see everything. And even if you do, you can see here you can go and fine tune what they haven't got access to. You can go through all the settings here and say, I don't want to access this or this. You can just fine tune it. To fine tune it, click save. This one I just set up here. So I set up the contact here, and if I click on verification email, it will then send them an email with all the login details for them to go and create their password so they can log into the system. So that's how you add members of staff to the system. Yeah. It's a bit sensitive, that button, so watch out. Just press it once and then wait. Don't go click. It'll send 2 invites very easily there. So that's where you manage your staff members and give them access at various levels that you choose. That's staff. These are just various settings for the opportunities. You don't have to worry about that. Important section here is in email services. So when you first go into this, you will need to go in and set up the email sending domain. Yeah. So you link it up to your DNS settings, your domain, so that Outlook, Gmail can check on your domain that HighLevel is a verified email sender on your behalf. Yeah. So there's a little bit more technical this, so we cover this in a separate workshop. But yeah, it's really important to get your email sending domain set up, or else you might find all the emails you try and send go straight into spam because you haven't configured the email sending domain properly. Yeah. So again, we've got brilliant tech support here that can help us on that. Jeannie and I have got their own tech support to help you set those up as well. Is that okay? If you're an agency, you can go direct to HighLevel and they'll help you set that up as well. But really, that's really important, once you find all your emails going to spam. Oh, afternoon, Jeremy.
Sorry.
No problem.
Sorry, I thought it was Monday. Sorry. I'll
Okay.
catch up later.
You can watch the video later, yeah. So there's the email sending services. That's really important to set up. Phone system. If you want to set up a phone number on the system, for texting, maybe link it to WhatsApp later on, or to phone people as well through the system, you need a phone number setting up. So the things to watch out for here, it loads. A sec. So if you wanted a phone number in the system, the most obvious thing to do is here we go, it's loading. Yeah, so if you wanted to get a phone number to be able to send text or make phone calls in the system, what you're most likely going to do is come to this page here and go add number. Yeah, you'll go to add number, and you'll try and find a number. You'll find the perfect mobile phone number for the UK just by using these filters. Yeah. You might find the perfect phone number, but it won't let you actually buy that phone number at $1.75 a month. Yeah. The reason being, before you can actually select a phone number, you need to set up a regulatory bundle here for the UK. So you see here, so click on regulatory bundles. It's just something to be aware of, because you can waste a lot of time if you're not aware of this little nuance. You basically, with a regulatory bundle, you have to prove who you are, by your identity. Yeah, so you've got to go through a process. They don't just let anyone get a phone number now and start sending text. So you have to click on create, like so, and you need 2 records. The first one's an address bundle. Yeah. and the second one's the regulatory bundle. So the first step is to set up your address bundle. Okay. There's two types of record you can create a business one or a personal one. Okay. To create a business one, you need to be in the UK here. You need to be registered at Companies House. You need a Companies House number. And you're also going to need a letter sent to the registered office address. So some people have like a registered office at an accountant's and no letters go there. But to do this on a business one, you do need a letter that's gone to that address, a utility bill or something like that, or else it won't work. Yeah. If you can't get a letter addressed to the registered office, then go down the personal route where you need your passport or driving license and a letter to your home address, a utility bill or something. So there's we go to, if you show you here, regulatory bundle, choose your country. Again, each country has different requirements. We're working with one client in Ireland at the moment. It's a nightmare. Antarctica.
It's an understatement, really. But yeah.
Yeah. Do you find you could? You find you could, but UK. What we could do? You go to UK here like that. You've got an option, business or individual. Again, if you've got a company number and a registered office address and a letter going to that address, you can do a business one. Otherwise, do an individual one with passport and a letter. Choose what type of phone number you want, because you have to set up a regulatory bundle for local numbers and one for mobile numbers. You want both. Yeah, those are the main ones there. And then you just fill in this form. Oh, sorry. Yes, it's got smaller that form now. They just updated the format to make it easy. See that? So this is just changed.
Sorry, Julian. I did this on Easter Sunday, funny enough, and I registered the business one. I found it really easy.
Oh, right.
Apart from I looked at the American one, and I just turned away and thought, no, I'm not going to bother with that. It's really hard. Is the personal one quite hard then? The business one was easy, bank statement, and they accepted it all on Easter Sunday, funnily enough.
Oh, really? Well, that's good, isn't it?
Yeah.
It depends. So sometimes it's really quick, and other days it takes days. It depends. Yeah. But this form, they've simplified this, I think, now. This used to be quite a big form, so it's obviously changed the way it works. But yeah, so there's those. You just, before you get your phone number, just go through the process of getting the regulated bundles. And Jeremy says it's easy now, so that's good.
Well,
See,
that's for a limited company. I don't know the person. They just wanted a few details, uploaded my PDF of a bank statement, and
oh, okay.
but the American one looked really scary.
Yeah,
including
I've got an American number here. Yeah, I've got an American number here. You need a A2P verified you need to get A2P verified for that. This is here, yeah.
And then you've got to pay for that, haven't you? Is it every year or something?
Yeah, you pay they charge you that per campaign and stuff. Yeah, and you've got to get an employer number from the US for that.
Yeah, that's why I backed away from it.
That's quite easy to get that number. Actually, it's quite easy to get that number. They give it to anybody that. But yeah, and then to get A2P verified, the tech support we got here, Jeremy, these guys are brilliant at setting that up. Just get them to the employer if you need that, because otherwise it's a nightmare.
It did look really scary, so I thought, no, I'm just leaving that for now.
That's the phone. Once you got a phone number, then you get WhatsApp here. So WhatsApp is typically an extra add-on for your HighLevel account.
So can I just go back to the numbers really quickly?
Yeah.
England, we need a mobile, but in America, is it a local number? Because that's all I could see, like a local rate number.
What did I get?
I don't know how they work over there. It was just so backwards.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the kind of number.
Yeah. I'd have to look at it. I can't. It's just well, as I said, did it, Jeremy? I can't remember. But I can send text on that one. I know that US number for texting, calling. Yeah.
Yeah, because he says local, and then yeah.
I'd have to look at that again. I'd have to look at that one for you, Jeremy. Yeah. But then, if you haven't subscribed to WhatsApp, you'll see an option to subscribe. But once you do, then obviously you can have it so that if it's somebody WhatsApps you, yeah, so you put your WhatsApp number or your WhatsApp button on your website. If they WhatsApp you, then that starts a conversation, no problem. But say you've got 1,000 people you want to send a WhatsApp to, you can do that in HighLevel. but that Meta class that as a marketing message, a marketing template. Yeah, and they're going to charge you in marketing it was about 6p per message. Yeah, so again, you use WhatsApp just like texting in HighLevel. There's a bit more setup involved to do that. WhatsApp. Right. The other areas to look at here, custom fields are important. Yeah. So as I mentioned at the start, when we looked at contact records, you can have unlimited custom fields. Here's where you manage them and update them here. So you can have, I've got lots of custom fields here. Yeah. I can add fields here. Yeah. You can add new ones, single line, multi-line, phone numbers, emails. So store all the data you like from any forms you're building, capture all the data into custom fields, custom values. So custom values are different to custom fields. So custom values are data that pertains to your business. Yeah. So you see here, just to prove, I've got it fixed, Jeremy, by the way, that are lovable. Yeah. So here's where I'm storing the date for the Foundations workshop. So up until about 11 o'clock, that said the 7th of April. But at 1 minute past 12, it worked today, Jeremy. Yeah. At 1 minute past 12, it updated it to the 28th of July. So that's automatically updating custom values. So, and that custom value then, that's not contact data. This is agency level data. And you see here, we're then pulling that custom value into our website. Yep. So it just enables us to control data, and any emails that are going out, they're all automated, and it's pulling in the next available workshop date automatically from the custom values, which live in custom values. Yeah. My score won't go into that one. Domains and URLs. Yeah. So in HighLevel now, you can buy domain names. You can transfer domain names as well. Yeah. And here's where all your URL redirects live. So sometimes you can use this to create short URLs if you wish, things like that. Yeah. On the domains here, you'll see where I've got my settings set up for. Where are we? This is my domain here for the email sending. Yeah, to make sure I get through the spam filters. That's settings on the domain there. You can have as many domains here, link to as many websites as you want in here in the domains. Yeah. Coming back to the bottom here, get rid of that. Integrations. So again, this is where you go when you're first setting up the integrations here. You'd integrate it to your Facebook account. Yeah. Link it to your Facebook advertising there. LinkedIn advertising if you're doing that. Yeah. The WhatsApp integration. You can also synchronize with Xero now. This is an ever-growing list of integrations, direct integrations into HighLevel. In addition to be able to use Zapier and things like that if you need to, or the API even. There's a Canva one now. Yeah, and you can synchronize it to your Shopify account. You should see Shopify here somewhere. Yep, so that's where you can, and Stripe as well. So Stripe, if you're doing on the online payments, you can integrate with Stripe. That's just one gateway you can use. There's others available. Yep. So that's a very quick run through, and I'm trying to do it in an hour. We're now up to an hour. Does that make sense, guys? Any questions?
Can you tell me how you fix Lovable, but leave it?
We'll do it another call there, Joe. I'll show you later in another call. Yeah. That's user profile. One thing to be aware of in HighLevel is the costs as well. It depends on which agency you're with. Yeah. We had the new client sign the other day where he found out to send a text, which should be about 6p. It was costing him like how much was it? About 25p a text, Atticus. Yeah.
What?
There's a few texts which are 30p a text. Yeah.
Yeah. So again,
That's a mega markup.
Sorry.
That's a mega markup.
Yeah, so it's not markup though. What's happening is, again, text is the one thing if you're going to do any texting, it's one thing to be careful of. So this particular client, it was sending like War and Peace emails, text anyway. Yeah, so a text in HighLevel is 160 characters. Yeah, if it's longer than 160 characters, then the system stitches them together. Yeah, but obviously it's going to cost you each time.
Oh,
So it's not like sending, you know, the personal text where you got unlimited. Yeah, you never even notice, do you? You could write a whole book, you don't notice. But in these systems, a text is 160 characters. Now, obviously, if you're sending 1,000 character text, that's 160. However, that's what's that going to be? 7 or 8
like you
text.
discussed last week, sending an emoji.
Yeah, I was coming to that. The emojis are the one that really kills you, though. Yeah. So as soon as you attach one emoji to a text, yeah, it converts that text to a different type of text.
Oh, yeah.
It transforms it from 160 characters to 70. Yeah. So it so it more than doubles the cost of sending just an emoji, more doubles the cost of sending at least straight away. So be careful of the characters that you include in your email, in your texts. Even that little what do they call it? A name like Jose or something where you have the inflection. Yeah. Even those inflections can convert it into a text, a 70-character text. Yeah.
Oh,
So yeah, so what we did, again, what's really useful in the system we learned from that is if you go to your billing section here, yeah, and it's just worth keeping an eye on that. Just you can export all the data and just make sure that there's nothing catching you out in the billing. You can analyze it into great detail there. So just something to look out for. Costs, integrations, settings. Yeah, so the main thing to be aware when you first set up is getting your DNS settings set up. That's the first thing we do with all our clients. Go to the domain, log into the domain on GoDaddy or wherever it might be hosted, or in HighLevel, and just make sure those are all set up. Have you done any work on yours yet, Jeremy?
I bought the domain today.
Oh, it's okay.
That's why I was delayed. I thought it was a Monday, and I was around.
Well, we've got an onboarding call tomorrow, haven't we? So we can look at all that tomorrow. We'll do all that.
That's what reminded me. I've got to come to this. You need a 10-minute email reminder just before, not a text. I did email Atticus, but he never replied to that either. It just ignores me.
Oh, we've been we've been busy on this call, yeah. So, has anyone got any other questions before we break up? I've just gone over the hour now. Anything I've missed for you?
Julian, it's slightly unrelated, but the AI employee, you did a workshop last week. Was there a second part to that?
There would have been today, but no one booked onto it. Yeah, no one booked on.
Right.
Yeah, no. Did you manage to set your AI up, your agents?
No, I'm sort of in the process of doing it. I've got the phone number set up.
Right.
But yeah, I haven't got much beyond that. So I'm going to try and work on it this week.
Yeah, I mean we covered everything on that call last Tuesday. We did. This was just a follow-up call. If anyone had any sort of sticking points, anything like that, and no one booked onto that. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, guys. No more questions then, Jeremy, from you?
No, I'll recap it. I'll rewatch it.
I just want to say thank you. Covered there's a couple of good points in there that I didn't know about, so that was really useful. So thanks.
Thanks
All
again,
right.
Julian. Always learn something.
Okay, I'll catch up with you guys again next time. Okay.
Cheers.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye. So thank you for attending today's workshop on the HighLevel Foundations. You should see shortly a QR code. On that QR code, you can book a discovery call with us if you've got any further questions, and also give you the option to book on to the next live workshop. Looking forward to seeing you there.